What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 50-second UDK tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be kind of taking things up a notch because if you remember in the last tutorial I taught you guys how to shoot this control panel box, and whenever you did it made a nice little announcement appear on the screen, and that was cool and all, but to tell you the truth I'm getting kind of bored with these announcements. They're kind of bland, aren't very exciting, so let me teach you guys how to do something a little more exciting. So the very first thing I want to teach you guys how to do is I want to teach you guys about something called interp actors. So go ahead and find a static mesh that you want to work with. I'm going to go ahead and search static meshes, and I actually have one in mind, statue. And the very first thing you need to do is we're going to be adding the static mesh as an interp actor. So let me explain to you guys what the heck an interp actor is. An interp actor is a dynamic static mesh. It's a static mesh, but you know how we like made a building out of static mesh in the walls and floor and windows, and whenever we play in our game it would just stay there, stay a wall, stay a building. Well, a dynamic static mesh is a static mesh that can move around, it can grow, shrink, rotate, it can appear and disappear. Like I said, it's a dynamic static mesh. So we can't just go ahead and drag and drop this right in our perspective view, or it's just going to be a static mesh. So in order to add this as a special dynamic static mesh, we first need to make sure that this static mesh is fully loaded. And I'm not talking about like when you drink a bunch of beer, you're fully loaded. Make sure it's fully loaded in the UDK, and mine already is because I was playing around with it. And whenever it is, go ahead and select it in your content browser, and now X out of your content browser. And now go ahead somewhere near your control panel or whatever target you have, go ahead and right click, and you're going to see add interp actor. This pretty much means add dynamic static mesh. So now we add this static mesh is a dynamic static mesh instead of just a regular static mesh, because whatever we do to these static meshes right here, they won't change, but we can kind of mess around with this one since it's dynamic now in interp actor. Like I said, we can grow it, shrink it, rotate it, move it around, blow it up, and do a bunch of cool stuff with it. So even though it looks the same right now, trust me, it's not. So now let me go ahead and hop on over to Kismet, and as you can see I already deleted my nice little play announcement because again, play announcements are kind of boring. We're going to be doing something a lot more interesting. I don't even know if I told you guys this already, but what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you guys how to shoot this control panel box, and whenever you do, we're going to make this static mesh, which I shouldn't even say static mesh, this interp actor disappear. Pretty cool, huh? So you guys probably thought that David Blaine and David Copperfield were the only people that can make things disappear. I don't think so. Add Bucky Roberts to that list because I'm about to do it. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to represent this object in some way in Kismet. So go ahead and select this interp actor and go ahead and right click and hit new object variable using interp actor 2. And it'd probably be easier for you guys to see if I added a comment. I'm just going to add statue right above this, and now whenever you do that, this statue is represented by this object in Kismet. Pretty cool, huh? So now you're saying, alright, well how do I make this appear and unappear, aka make it visible and invisible? Well, in order to do that, we need to add a toggle switch, but not just any toggle switch. If we go hover new action and toggle, remember, toggle is what we use to make our light switch or a light bulb switch on and off. What we want to do is select toggle hidden. This is a special kind of toggle where you can hide and unhide, and by the way, unhide pretty much just means make visible objects. So if you were to go ahead and first thing we want to do is saying, alright, we have this switch where we're supposed to hide and unhide something, but what do we want to hide and unhide? Well, let me go ahead and just plug the target into the statue, and that way whenever we use this toggle switch it knows we want to hide and unhide the statue right here. So all we're going to do now is saying, alright, whenever we take damage or whenever we shoot that control panel box, if we hook it up to this, it's going to hide that statue or make it disappear. Whenever we hook it up to this, it's going to make it appear, which it already is appeared, of course, because we can already see it, because so that's not going to do anything. But we want to go ahead and hit toggle. Now, toggle is a little bit different. Since this is visible by default, it's going to toggle this to off or make it invisible. If we started the level and it was invisible, and whenever we hit the box, it would make it visible. So it pretty much looks at what it is currently and toggles it to the opposite. So basically, whenever we're playing our game, and let me show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and hit play from here. Since this statue is already visible, and whenever I shoot this box, it's going to toggle it to invisible. Don't believe me? Well, watch closely. Watch this interp actor right here whenever I shoot it. I shoot it and it toggles to invisible. Pretty cool, huh? So now, let me talk you guys through one last time what we did. Let me go ahead and give you guys a nice little angle to look at. What we did is we first added an interp actor. Remember, this is different than a static mesh because a static mesh in your game, they aren't going to change. They're going to be there forever. However, an interp actor is like a static mesh that's dynamic that we can move around, make appear, disappear, do all kinds of fun things with. The next thing we did is we took that interp actor and we added it as an object in Kismet. That way we can reference this in Kismet. And right after that, we added a special toggle switch called toggle hidden. And what this toggle action does is it hides and unhides interp actors, or in this case a statue. So we can go ahead and hide it or unhide it, but what we want to do is toggle it, which pretty much means look at the current state, and if it's visible, turn it invisible. If it's invisible, turn it visible, and you could do this all day long. Switch it on and off, on and off. So that's all I wanted to teach you guys what to do in this tutorial. Again, I'm just putting the pieces together in this tutorial, and in the next tutorial I'm going to be building a really, well, I don't know if it's going to be the next tutorial, but in the upcoming tutorials I'm going to be teaching you guys how to build a really cool system. I'm not going to give it away now, but trust me, it's going to be awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.